Hey, crypto heads! It's the Goose with the Cryptic Paranormal Show. Welcome to the
How'd you like
Christmas
that
Parahang
intro?
Party.
Look at that
new
intro. Who's on there? Me.
Finally, you're all the way over there. You're down there. You're finally on there as Heisenberg. But yeah, my buddy re-edited that for us, so we got a proper ending to the intro. Is this Ashley? We got Ashley popping in here, I think. Fingers crossed.
I hope that's her.
Butts. There she is. We see you.
What's up?
There she is. Welcome to the party.
We just started, so you're good.
Yeah, you made it just.
I even dressed for the occasion.
Oh
my God, Santa! Nice. I know him.
I love that movie.
You sit on a throne of lies. So we got an awesome guest here. We got Amber. Welcome, Amber, to the show. Thank you for coming on. Got our brother John, who's been around almost every show, commenting and picking on Heisenberg about cold cuts and other kinds of condiments and things. There's Heisenberg barely standing, but here with us. How are you feeling, man? You feeling? Well, we'll just move on. We know how you're feeling.
I'm in great pain, is what it is.
Right. But he is warrioring through for the show, and we appreciate it, buddy. Thank you. We got our boss. So we got all straighten up and be good here, Mr. David Wolver, the Mad Mountain. What's up, buddy? How are you doing?
Hanging in there. Happy to hang out this evening.
Awesome. D-Nice, the
It's
Mad
me.
Realtor. What's up?
Not much.
Not much.
Kind of slow, actually. But
Oh, really?
It's fine. It's fine. It's
For
a
a
welcomed. Yeah, it's a welcomed slowdown.
Yeah. If it's
Nobody-
going to happen, it's a good time to happen.
Yeah, exactly. Nobody really wants to buy a house right before Christmas, and I'm okay with that.
Those are kind of hard to wrap.
Yeah.
Not with toilet paper.
Yeah, right. You can wrap the trees pretty well. Then we got our sister from another mister down there, Mrs. Ashley Storm, or Mix Stormy D, as she has herself.
MC. I'm not a farmer. I'm a rapper.
Mix Stormy? No, you're Mix Stormy D. You're Scottish.
MC. No,
That
I'm
is
not
Mix
Toilet.
Stormy D down there. Hello. MC Stormy D, what's up?
All right. Doing fine.
All right. There's the gang. I got to get in the comments here. Hold on a second.
It's
I got
us
it.
so far.
Okay. You got it? All right, cool. Because I can't read it tonight. It's really small
Yeah.
for some reason.
So surprise, since John is always joining the show and talking shit, this is actually a roast of John Ward. Welcome.
Yes. I told you I'm coming for you, Ward.
Long overdue.
Eisenberg, you have the floor.
I'm not ready. Well, actually, I can't laugh, guys. Stop.
Oh, sorry. This is
So it's gonna be
our
very
Christmas
somber.
present for Heisenberg.
Huh?
Yeah.
I got 3 fractured ribs.
Oh no! How'd you do that?
I had no idea. No idea at all.
I know
He
how.
needs some milk.
That would probably be true.
How, Ashley?
I got the milk right here.
He got
How do you do it?
eaten in his sleep by black-eyed children.
You're right. How do you do it, Amber?
Merry Christmas.
Did somebody say they knew how he did it?
Yeah, Ashley did.
Oh. Never mind.
Wow.
Fighting off some black-eyed children.
Yeah.
So you start talking about
Let
black
him inside.
children and everybody disappears.
Right?
Yeah.
Those things are
We
fucking
stalk
creepy.
Heisenberg.
Do not let them in to use your phone, man. It's no good.
He's freaking the fuck out. I love you. I'm sorry. I know
Who's
you're
that
not.
behind you, Heisenberg?
He-
Looking through the
I
window.
haven't done it since I said I'd be nice. I haven't
Yeah.
done it like 3
Yes.
times.
So stop it, Ray.
If he ever sees one, he's just going to assume that Ashley sent it there.
I am. I'll be like, hey, tell Ashley thank you.
But I'm not interested.
Right?
Okay, but what if a black-eyed child comes to your house and she's selling Girl Scout cookies?
I don't open the door for anybody, man.
2 boxes
It's
of Thin
Girl
Mints,
Scout
bitch.
She has to sell Pepsi.
Oh, yeah.
I sit at my couch while somebody's knocking on my door going, hey, I'm not answering you.
Oh, and 2 Samoas for the wife. Thank you.
Yeah.
You leave them out the
Honey.
door, I'll throw the money at you.
I like those lemon cookies, man.
You do?
Yeah, I didn't think I would.
So weird.
They changed them the last time I got them. They weren't even the same. They weren't like the sandwich cookies. They were like some glazed.
Yeah, they
Weird
keep
thing.
changing their cookies, man. Tell the Girl Scouts to make up their fucking minds.
I'm so glad my girls are no longer Girl Scouts for that single reason. A garage full of Girl Scout cookies that I was not allowed to touch. It was torture.
That's our next T-shirt, by the way. Tell the Girl Scouts to make up their fucking minds, and it's Heisenberg.
Oh my god.
You should see it at
what's
work.
up?
They had a whole quote book for me. They write down my
should.
quotes.
Oh, I could imagine, dude.
It's like the Jack Dandy's thoughts, like that. But
Yeah, exactly.
Deep
Yeah.
thoughts with Heisenberg.
Yeah.
Not so deep thoughts with Heisenberg.
Mega shallow thoughts with Heisenberg.
Mega shallow.
Shit that just comes out of my mouth with Heisenberg.
Yeah, that's probably what it is.
What's up,
Oh,
Pezzy? We love you.
Hi,
What's
Maggie.
up, patient?
Peggy.
Patient.
It's a good idea.
So let's go around the board, see what everybody's been up to, like in the paranormal world. I know it's kind of the end of the season, technically. There's a lot of spots we could still probably go to that are somewhat warm, or get
Like
involved with
Oklahoma?
projects.
Thank you, Denise.
Right? Yeah. So, what have you been up to, Amber? Anything cool recently? It looks like you've been down to the Enchanted Church a little bit.
I was there one time with Jeff Fent and Chris Wright, but I've been all over the place.
Yeah. You look like you've been busy.
I have been so busy. I've been so
That's
busy.
a good thing. That's
It
a good
is.
thing.
But I want to find someplace new to go. Like I want to find someplace like, off the beaten path.
Yeah. I know of a
Thanks
place.
in hand, Ashley.
I know a
What
place.
is an enchanted church?
It's a new place. It is. The owners are thinking about having investigations there.
What is it for now?
They live there.
Yeah, it's like literally an old church that they have renovated, but it's almost like a curiosity and oddity museum.
Yeah.
It
Is there
looks
a
like from
well
the pictures.
on the property or some type of like water?
I'm not
You
sure
would know more
about
than
that, but I'm pretty sure they also have the cemetery across the street. So
Right.
and they just opened a deceased vintage store out there. So that's
Yeah.
pretty cool.
Yeah,
Why?
they're
What are you
really
picking
into
up on there, Storm?
Did you say a deceased vintage?
Just
Yeah.
water. I just keep getting water for some reason, but I don't know why water.
I don't know.
Maybe
I
you're
think
I
thirsty.
don't.
Thirsty? No.
Hmm.
Fuck you, Heisenberg. No, I'm just kidding. I like
Wait, don't make me
that.
Hold on.
He's gonna go die off camera. We love you.
Yeah. Yeah, Merry Christmas.
Right?
I'll send you flowers in the hospital.
I see Andrea's on. She just joined my team.
Oh
Yeah.
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 Awesome. So has
That's
it been
fun.
your team been busy, or just kind of going rogue and working with other groups?
No, we've been like trying to get everybody together, but you know how that is.
Oh, that's impossible. That's it doesn't matter.
Yeah, so it's kind of bits and pieces here and there and trying to
Yeah.
organize everybody's schedule. So
Yeah, it's been like that. That was one of Dark Alley's biggest problems this year, was just being able to everybody be on the same schedule, and Heisenberg getting injured all the time. Just kidding.
I know, man. I
sick.
can't let Trent's gonna start making fun of me soon.
I know. He was the guy. Like when he was still in Ohio, he was on our team, and he was the guy that was constantly hurt.
Yeah, I used to tell him the wind blew too strong and mess him up.
Right. And he was our little mole that could get into tight little spaces and do EVP sessions where nobody else could get into.
He used to go underneath the floor at the seminary.
Yeah. He was crawling into little crawl spaces at House of Wills, and I had to give him a lot of kudos for that. I mean, like, I don't know
couldn't
who
believe he
or
did
what
it. I was
would
like, go in there.
Yeah.
Go.
He's like, okay. He just went right in, like, sweet, man. That's so funny. So what's going on with you, John? Anything paranormal speaking? I know you're working on a super secret project that you probably can't talk about, but
What's new?
right.
I mean, just recently went on an investigation at Old Lincoln County Jail with a good group of friends. But no, this year I kind of took a break away from working on documentaries and all that kind of stuff, just to focus on getting back to the roots of enjoying the paranormal again. So, I've just been out having a good time this year, and probably gonna do the same next year. But the project I'm working on, it doesn't have anything to do with the paranormal.
Oh, cool.
Since it is Christmas, I will drop a hint. It has to do with the horror industry and writing.
Oh.
So, but I'm not going to go into much more detail.
Nice.
You're writing a horror novel.
I wouldn't say it's a novel. It's more of a horror series, but
cool, man.
Yeah. So.
Well. Aren't we fancy, Ward?
Oh, shit.
Oh, awesome, Patience. Austin's going back to Haunted Licking County. I need to get back there when I'm not like super tired,
Me too.
and when it's not like super busy outside. So I got to find like that in between sweet spot, or I'm not working late and then trying to get there before it closes, and I miss everybody. It was horrible.
Yeah.
But hey, we saw Eddie on there. What's up, Eddie? Hey, Holly. Then there's Mr. Woolley. We know that he's got stuff going on, right?
Always.
Between RU and the network and things coming up. And is there anything you can give us a hint on what's going on? Or
Well, as most of you probably saw, there was a big RU return to one old Villisca, Iowa.
yes.
So that'll be coming down the pike. There's a couple more episodes before that one that are still in editing mode, but old Kimmel Boy got his nose down in the keyboard currently. So, Haunted Minds, we're still working on our third episode, which was pretty cool. I know Amber can probably attest to the fun little throwback kind of we did during the shoot. So but as of right now, there's not a whole lot actually going on other than the weekly network stuff and getting ready for holidays. So slow.
Yeah, that's kind of been.
Is your mom going to do any more cooking shows?
They haven't done anything else. That was our local branch of the Carnegie Library here.
I loved it.
I know. And they left it up to me to do the filming and all that jazz. But that was probably some of the most fun times that we've had. Like, just outside of normal family time. And they have not done it since. And I've been so upset about it.
Yeah, maybe just do it on your own. I mean, it's not like you don't run a network. Just put it on.
I thought about it. And I'm still thinking about actually expanding the network to more than just paranormal. So,
oh yeah.
Hey, John.
I have an idea.
Okay.
I'll message you later.
Okay.
No, that's a great idea. Man.
I was actually literally in my car today thinking I should talk to Wolliver and see if he would be willing to do other than paranormal stuff.
Yep. I'll take food. I'll take horror stuff. I'll take about anything other than pornography.
That's good. Okay, never mind. I'm not going to message you later then.
I had wondered. Yes, message away.
And I hear little quibblings about the certain mysteries of the road show. Maybe starting up something next year.
It is not dead. There have been some things that got in the way this year, sadly, but
A lot of things,
working
man.
on some
Let's not joke about it. A lot
maybe
of
some
things.
easier things and some easier ways to film said project, and
Yeah.
we're gonna try to knock it all out of the park relatively short amount of time. So I'm gonna need you to like be on your A game, Goose.
Yeah. Like, just quit your job. It's fine.
All right.
No,
I'll
but
just have
yeah,
to fall back on my OnlyFans page.
I'm pretty excited for it.
He said no pornography.
I said OnlyFans, not are you.
We're coming up with just some last minute kind of ideas for the pre-production kind of stuff, and then I'll get with everybody and get
Looking
back
forward
on
to
the scheming.
Nice.
Me too, Pezzy.
Yes.
So I know Ashley's got a ton going on because I like every 5 minutes she's posting something else about something amazing she's about to get into. I mean, what's going on with you? Like, where do we even start with you, Ash?
I don't know, because I don't know where to start, man. I don't.
Ashley's doing everything.
I'm confused and I'm scared. And I don't know what's going on.
Well, let's talk about things that you've already done. Let's talk about a certain show that's coming out about Broken Bow.
Oh, it already came out.
It already came out. Yeah, but you
Yeah.
weren't you not allowed to talk about it though, were you?
No, not at all.
Yeah.
But I mean, if people haven't watched it yet, I don't want to talk about what happened. I mean, we can talk about the experience of it now, yeah. But the fucking, did you guys watch it?
Not yet.
No.
Who watched it? Raise your hand.
I
Really?
binged through every location episode that I
My
needed
guy.
to.
So the captures that he got.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, my thing was that he was like, we validated what was happening here and da-da-da-da-da. I'm like, yeah, but you don't understand, like, that one thing that he captured that you guys see so clear. I mean, this is one of the craziest things I've ever seen somebody actually capture on film. But to people like me, that's what I see on a normal day-to-day basis.
Yeah.
I think it's enhanced for me in locations. But for somebody's physical eye, and they didn't even catch it with their physical eyes, just the camera caught what was happening in the background. But just, it happens in there. There are like 20, 30 spirits that just like are constantly and I'm seeing them just and you can freaking see it, and it's so cool. You guys gotta watch it. It's so cool.
It's on the agenda. I just found out today that it was released, so I had no idea.
I found out from a friend.
Oh, cool.
So it's like, hey, I'm part of the Nick Groff fan club.
I gotcha.
Episodes out, and I was like, nope, sure didn't. So
Nice.
that was fun. Because then I didn't know why, but my inbox that morning was like crazy, and it's been weird, and that kind of pisses me off though, because we've been around for 3 years. I've done everything promotion wise, show wise to get it out there. It's been just as amazing for the past 3 years. Now it's just like on a show, but we recorded this 2 fucking years ago.
Right.
It's changed a lot since then. That's one thing that a lot of the people commented on that have watched it go there all the time.
Yeah.
And it's so much different there now that it's like he's not even talking about the same place.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
So I feel like that's going to be an issue, because when people do book, because they're like, oh man, something's aggressive in there. It's so like dark and scary. I mean, it's still like heavy, and you know what I'm saying? Like, it's still intense, but in a completely different way. And depending on if he doesn't like Nick will still, not Nick Groff, but Spirit Nick, will still get like shitty with people, but nowhere near as bad as he used to. And he doesn't like mire the whole place and just that kind of like heavy, yucky energy. See, Rich said only if you disrespect them. They've been there, I think, the most out of any group that have years. But it's changed so much, and I think that's one thing that we need to focus on location wise, is that the spirits there may be like angry, they may be suffering or something, but we can actually change that. Just like in life, we can sit there and just not even like you know, guys know I call it like ghost therapy.
Yeah.
But it's really sitting there and listening
Mhm.
and trying to understand and making a safe environment for them. And it can actually change. I never believed in that until I always thought, you know, once an asshole, always an asshole. Like even in life and death and all that other stuff. But you can actually change.
There's
Yeah.
hope to be yet.
And I think that'll be a really cool thing, though, for people to see if they watch the show and then come. If they're disappointed that they didn't get the angry stuff, then, you know,
Right.
bye anyway. Bye, Felicia, because I don't like that. But when you see how intense but beautiful it is now to interact with them, I think that'll capture a lot of people. I'm super
Right.
excited.
Yeah.
You're so cool.
Hey, Jeff.
What's up,
Okay.
Jeff? The goat is here.
I did
Somebody
want to. Somebody had a question.
Yeah, I brought it up.
Okay, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
That's what I was looking for.
Oh, sorry. We just
Yes.
have the same like mindset, so we both go for it.
Haven't you
gonna
ever
keep
seen
my
the
hands
Christmas
off.
Carol, Timothy?
That's true.
Yeah, Timothy wants to know if the holidays increase paranormal events. What do you guys think on that? You could start with Amber. What do you think?
I honestly don't. I've never investigated during the holidays because we usually stop right around the holidays because it gets too cold to go in most buildings. I mean, but everybody's
true.
house is haunted around Halloween.
Oh yeah, of
Yeah.
course. I guess it depends on what holiday you're talking about.
Right. I mean, it's haunted all the time. I mean, I don't think it really changes. It just during the colder seasons, it gets more quiet and calm outside. So maybe it seems like it because everything's calmer and quiet. So you're more aware.
That's a good call.
Yeah. What do you think, John?
Yeah, I mean, I don't have much to add. I mean, I did investigate Madison Seminary on October 30th heading into Halloween morning once, and it was super active, but Madison Seminary can be super active for the most part, almost every time you go, it seems. So
Right.
what the peak really is to whether or not it was more active because of the holiday or if it was just a solid night, I don't know.
Wooly?
Yeah, like they were saying, I've never really investigated around the holidays, but just from experiences from growing up in a house that was haunted, it did seem to kind of do something around Christmas time when we're putting up decorations and things like that.
Yeah.
One of the most notable I can remember was my mom would always put garland around the chandelier that was above our dining room table. And we went out Christmas shopping for a couple hours and came back, and the garland was down off of the chandelier and rolled back up.
Oh,
Holy crap.
they said, nope, we don't like it.
It's like, this is tacky.
Yeah.
And then
Take this down.
The very first paranormal experience that I ever had as a kid was actually at Christmas time also. And I was, my sister had a very similar experience to me. I was going downstairs in the middle of the night to, I think, probably get a drink or whatever. And right off to the right from our stairs is like our family like sitting area or whatever. And that was where our big Christmas tree was. And I looked over and there was like an older couple in older, not like Victorian, but just older clothing. And they were linked arms looking at the Christmas tree.
Oh.
And then they heard me make a sound on the stairs and actually looked and then vanished.
Oh, wow. That's crazy, man.
And that was the first paranormal thing that ever happened to me, and it just happened to be at Christmas time. So
well, there you go.
If I can speak to my experience, I think it does a little bit of something.
That's so cute.
That's a cool story, man. I like
That's
that.
a cool story.
It really is.
Steve, but then that brings up the fact maybe they're just sitting there looking at their tree and in their house, admiring their, you know what I mean? And then they see you and they're like, holy shit, is that a little kid?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. It's crazy to think about.
Yeah,
And
our friend.
Yeah, I think that another thing too that people forget is like, yes, you can go to a haunted location and there may be spirits there, but you don't know that all of those spirits were there before you got there. They might be people that follow you around, and then when you go and do an investigation, they're like, okay, cool, this is my time to talk.
Right.
So I don't see why the holidays wouldn't be like, all those family members, all of your friends, whatever, like they're coming to visit you. It doesn't necessarily have to be like poltergeist, like crazy shit that's happening. But yeah, I would imagine that our family members visit a lot more around Christmas.
And there's so much energy that gets just jam packed into spaces.
Oh yeah,
right.
With everyone coming around to visit and celebrate.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
there's a lot of like. What were you gonna say, Amber? I'm sorry.
I was saying maybe. I mean, it's possible. Anything is possible.
Right. I think Andrea, I think nailed it too.
Yeah.
Basically the same thing. I know there's a lot of emotion in a small space, and not all that's happy. I mean, it's happy, but you're thinking of loved ones that have passed, and wishing they were there with you, and that's a whole different emotion that's in the same room as all the other emotions. So it's just like supercharged, just like you guys are saying. So I definitely think that could feed into it. What do you think, Ashley?
Not just Christmas, but because I do events year round, like I'm always doing public tours and investigations and stuff. And no matter where we are, like Kilgore, Tyler, no matter what city we're in, especially around the holidays like Halloween, Christmas, a lot of the times Thanksgiving lately. And I don't know if it's just because I'm getting like stronger or whatever with this shit, but people's family members start like, and that was a great point, Denise, people's family members start popping up in investigations. The last 3 that I've had 5 people at least walk out crying because I'm like, okay, I know this sounds crazy, but not in like a bad way, but just like so like blindsided because I'm like, hey, by the way,
right,
how's it gonna sound? And then go through an actual like channeling session, basically giving them the message, and like people who don't believe at all leave crying. I'm like, I'm so sorry I did that. Like, it's fine. It's okay. You're okay.
You came here to talk to spirits. Like, since it's your aunt, you don't want to talk to her? But tell you your message.
Well, a lot of the times I've noticed it's one person who wants to do it and like 3 or 4 friends that just tagged along with them so they wouldn't be alone. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So when something does happen, those 3 or 4 other friends are like, fuck this. But the other one's like, oh my God, this is so cool. But yeah, it's, and also around people's birthdays. Like I can usually tell when it's somebody's birthday or like an anniversary or something's coming up.
Yeah.
Because we'll be in an investigation or something and be like, so there's someone in here, but they don't belong to this building, and they are, and do the whole thing. And they're like, oh my God, it's because my birthday's coming. Or they visit more often during the holidays. I think they're very aware, no matter spirit or ghost. They're super aware of our timeline as well. It's very interesting because we don't know what's going on theirs, but they are completely prevalent in both sides. It's very interesting.
That's very cool.
John, there was a question for John.
Yeah, I think it was from Melvin.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Yeah, Melvin's a good buddy of mine.
Okay.
Yeah, so no, I mean I've collected these boards for a couple of years now, Melvin. Energy in the house is fine. At least from the board's standpoint. I mean everybody's kind of heard the stories of the haunted dolls that I had that I got rid of that are now in the archive of the afterlife. But no, the boards themselves have been fine. There's no energy on them. Just a really cool collector's piece to have, and just enjoy it.
Cool.
Yeah.
Those show you not all Ouija boards are evil, right? It's not the board. It's the way it's used.
Jesus Ouija board.
Oh my God, that thing is amazing.
Ouija board.
They have a Ouija board too, like with a pot leaf on it. I think that's pretty.
So do I. Wait, what?
Ashley's like, I already bought it.
I'm going to make a Ouija board for John. I'm going to make one especially for him.
Yeah.
I'm not going to tell you what's going to be on it yet.
Do it.
Can the planchette look like a cold cut?
Yeah, might. The planchette might be like those little clear plastic bologna things that you get.
Not like the macaroni and cheese beef bologna or whatever the heck you posted the other day.
Oh, that was wrong.
I don't think I could even touch that, man. That would look disgusting.
Yeah,
I
I
still
would
don't-
side with not eating that for sure.
I still don't get why the cheese and the fucking noodles were separate. Why was it not cooked as full macaroni first and then at least put in there? Like that I can understand. But it had just plain ass noodles and then blocks of cheese. Like, oh, don't worry, it'll cook itself down.
Well, the cold cut industry is pretty evil.
Yeah.
Cold cut industry, this guy.
We honestly don't even know what they do with the meat itself, let alone the macaroni and cheese they're putting in it.
That's true.
But it's still delicious.
Separately, maybe.
Yeah.
So Andrea brought up, she knows that some people are freaked out by dolls. Thank you very much. That would be me. But what about mannequins? Thank you very much. That would be me.
Like mannequins in the store?
Like not the ones in the store, no, but like when you're creeping around like in the bottom floors of some of the haunted places we go that have like old
Or like
displays,
OSR
and you
has all
just-
those cutouts of like Andy Dufresne, and
Right.
they scare me every time I walk into a room.
There's one in Shalersville too that's right in the parlor when you walk in. I always forget that thing is there.
Mm-hmm.
And like as soon as you open that door, it's like boom. I'm like, oh, okay, it's her. I remember now.
The
I
other house
remember
used to have mannequins all over the place.
Yeah, and I remember we went the first time I went down when we were at the Lake County Historical Society. When we went down in the basement, they had a room full of mannequins that were just like in plastic. So then you see all these like these people in plastic. You're like, what the fuck is this? Like, oh shit.
Cold cut.
But yeah, I mean, mannequins in certain senses do freak me out. But it's more of like a jump scare type thing. It's not like, oh my god, it's possessed type thing.
That's the Lake County Historical Society and all their mannequins.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, I can't like that Indian room where the Indian mannequin is sitting there with like that was like okay, I got enough of that. It's just like weird. I'm like, is it looking at me now? You're in the dark, but you see this thing.
I always expect them to crawl out.
Yeah.
What about you, Wolver? Are you afraid of dolls? Or mannequins?
I can't stand dolls. Mannequins I can handle. They're usually dressed as a family, you know. That's fine. The doll
With
like
their Abercrombie
Madison,
on,
like I go straight through the lobby at Madison. I'm not about that life.
Yeah, I'm used to Maddie because we've had so much like time with her.
Maddie was fine when I first met Maddie way back in like 2012. Her head was barely attached, and she had a lot more hair.
Yeah.
Yep.
But man,
yeah, she's taken a lot of abuse from.
She got scalped.
The family that's shown up from there.
Yeah, that's a little different. Every time I go there, there's another freak looking at me.
We can't help it. They just find us. It's like they want to come home with us and go to the seminary.
You don't have to bring them home. You don't have to listen to everybody, Denise.
I do.
Do you like dolls, Ashley?
What'd you say?
I feel like we've had this conversation before. I will burn a whole fucking place down. So the first thing I did when I bought the asylum was I went in and I cleared out all of the fucking dolls because it was a haunted house. There was literally one room that was nothing but dolls and like with like nails sticking through their heads and like
oh my god.
Yeah, fuck that.
So that was the first thing I did was move all the dolls out and I just oh my god fuck no. So I watched Chucky. Same thing with clowns. I watched Chucky and It when I was like 4 or 5 years old, and I know it's like irrational, but first of all, Denise, y'all are creating a little fucking army. So when they finally do end up becoming sentient and shit, y'all are fucked. Bye, love you, but you brought it on yourself.
I can't believe you're doing this shit with what's going on in the world, man.
No, Melvin.
You can take care of them, but whenever something else decides to use it as a fucking
vessel.
Yeah, just see, I'm too flabbergasted by even just the thought of what's about to happen to even be able to articulate my words. I don't never not know my words. These dolls, nah, bruh. And
the
then
dolls
the
are going to start
mannequin
giving flashlight tours at Madison Seminary.
I know. You're going to be able.
That's a moneymaker, though. The mannequin thing started with the old Twilight Zone episode where the mannequins come alive and like are trying to find each other again.
Yes.
So when I was little, walking through department stores, I'd always be like, making sure that like moving, always trying to catch one. And then with the paranormal stuff, I was like, that's just a big ass fucking doll for it to take over. Instead of choking you with tiny life size hands, or with like tiny little doll hands, it has life size hands now.
Yeah.
And now you're even more dead. So fuck off.
Yeah.
And
I agree with Ashley on this one.
in the ambush museum, the Bonnie and Clyde ambush museum, there's a fucking mannequin every 2 steps you take. Now, but before, like when I first started investigating it, and it's only me in there ever. When I'm doing like the shows and the lives, it's only ever me. So when something else bumped, and I'm from New Orleans, man, I'm gonna swing first and ask questions later. And I was like backtracking with no light, and I felt someone's hand touch my arm, but like a hand, not like a ghost. It didn't. When ghosts touch me, it's like a different sensation in my body. You know what I'm saying? I felt like a physical fucking hand. And so I just turned around and swung on the motherfucker and knocked him over. And I was like, he went down real quick. Turn on the light, and it's the mannequin. I didn't break it, but I did tell Mr. Perry what happened. Because I was like, okay, so I know you just heard a loud ass noise because he lives like I was like, it's perfectly fine. You might have even seen it on the camera. It just startled me. I'm sorry. Like, had to be completely honest because I know he's going to look through the footage later and be like,
I don't want to actually beat the shit out of a mannequin.
why is she hitting my shit?
Right.
He snuck up on me, man. Gross.
Patience had a question for Amber.
Any big places?
Yeah. Go ahead.
No. You could read yourself. I keep forgetting you guys could see the comments.
I thought you were going to say that we can read.
You guys can read for yourself. I'm out.
The only place that we have to try to get everybody together for is Paulding. I don't know if you guys have been there or not, but
no. I mean, I've heard of it. I mean, anybody around here has heard of it. Another bucket list place for a while. I mean,
gotta go.
Seems like the list is growing and growing and growing as more and more comes out of the woodwork. But
yeah. We've caught quite a bit of stuff there at Old Paulding Jail. Yeah. It's a pretty cool place. We've been there twice, and we're going back again. So
nice. That's awesome. Really cool.
What's your favorite type of place to investigate?
Anywhere. Anywhere. I mean, it's just gaining the knowledge and trying to see what you get. That's why we do it. So
yeah. That's a good question.
I like to do it because I already talked to myself, so I figured why not just have some fun with it.
So then you don't seem crazy when you're doing it in a haunted location.
Right.
Smart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about you, John? Do you have a particular kind of building that you like to investigate? Like, I mean, a favorite, I guess?
I wouldn't say a type in particular. No, I mean, it just boils down to the group you're with. I like going with people that I trust and know, and people that bring good energy, because typically that's when the results happen. So, I mean, you could go at there's just so many different places. Like, you got tiny little places like Monroe House that are highly active, then you got giant places like OSR that are great. And I've had great experiences at every place I've been. So, no, it's more about the people than it is the location, I think. So,
what he said.
Yeah. No, it does matter. Right. I mean, yeah, it does. I think who you're with does matter. For sure. I do think I kind of like. No, go ahead.
On that topic, Wooly, is it different when you're like filming versus do you go on investigations when you're not filming?
It's been a long time since I've been on an investigation and haven't filmed. But yeah, it can be a little bit different because you're kind of on a little bit of a schedule. So there's so much that has to get cut out of everything that we do, because there's, obviously, as you guys know, there's so many hours of just nothing.
Yeah.
And you got to go through every bit of that, and it's just crazy. But then we usually only we've been lucky enough recently to be able to have 2 days to do the investigations. But when it was just 1 day, it was like, man, how in the world? Like, there's some, even in some of the episodes, like, there's just not a whole lot of stuff going on, but maybe some personal experiences and things like that. But it's a lot different when you can just kind of just sit back and relax and enjoy it and not have to like just keep going all the way through the night.
Mhm.
Well, I mean, I know it's not the same because I'm not like filming or anything. It's a different thing. But like when I do tours at Madison or when I'm like leading groups for public hunts or whatever, like my brain is in like work mode, And so if something happens, like I don't notice it. People will be like, oh my gosh, it's so heavy in here. I don't notice it because I'm in work mode. So I was just wondering if it's like.
It can get that way, but a lot of times, like there's been some places that no matter what mode you're in, like when stuff starts to creep up on you, like the whole atmosphere changes no matter what mode you're in. It's just, I don't know. It's a lot of fun, the filming aspect of it, but it's a lot more fun when you get to relax and like, okay, I'm not on camera. Good. Yay.
Right.
I mean, I kind of even like beyond just filming. There's sometimes where I like just need to like leave the equipment in Command Central and just walk and be in the building. I mean, that's
you just don't want to carry all the equipment, right?
Well, that's true too. I mean, my knees are buckling underneath me, and shoulders getting bad. No, seriously though, by the end of the night, I mean, if I even start with anything, I mean, it's usually just the spirit box now, and like maybe my recorder.
That's all I carry is a recorder.
Yeah, and a flashlight, and that's really about it. I mean,
I always forget my flashlight.
But I like to be in the building and just kind of observe and interact when I hear something, and I don't know, it's just my personal take. But I've never. I mean, the only time I've had filming experiences with Resident Undead when they shot the House of Wills episode, and that was just like I don't know how they were even like doing it, because it was even out of sequence. Like he was filming like the end and then doing the and things in between all out of order. I'm like, dude, I don't know how you do this. This is ridiculous. This is crazy.
Oh, he has a whiteboard. He's very organized.
He didn't have a whiteboard then.
He doesn't look around, man.
He didn't have that all that back then when we did that one. He was just like on.
I think it's the what is that saying about being the mother? Necessity is the mother of invention, or whatever. I think it's just all the years of doing it, in whatever order. And you might have it in your head, but now he's got it down. He's
right.
He's got
it is a well-oiled machine these days.
Yes.
Well, plus the House of Wills, it was a completely different thing because number one, it's the House of Wills in East Cleveland, so you're worried about security. So you're trying to get in, do your thing, get done, and get out. Plus, there was the looming fact of the blizzard coming in, which that horrible blizzard hit that night. So they were like trying to get done before the snow hit. So it was just like there was definitely a rush, but it still ended up an amazing episode. So I thought that's how all his stuff was done. I know it's really progressed and, like, for lack of a better term, grown up.
Believe it or not, it's actually a lot more relaxed these days.
That's good. That's good.
And honestly, it's probably because it's so organized and stuff. There's not like the chaos of trying to figure out what to do and whatever. And
there's always a plan. Obviously, things can change on the fly depending on what things happen during the actual investigation.
Right.
But there's a basic idea of what we need to accomplish while we're at a location. But it all depends on what we feel we get evidence-wise, and that kind of ends up leading where we actually go. So,
Ashley, you probably don't have that problem though. Like, your work mode is your having experiences mode.
I get this all the time, and it's like, I know that these people are trying to be nice, but you know how when people phrase stuff a certain way, it's like, okay. I always, I don't take it the wrong way, but I'm like, you could have found a billion other ways to phrase that. It's, oh my God, you're so fun. It's not serious at all. It's so much, like, most people are so serious. You don't care. Like, I don't care. And I'm like, it's not that I don't care. Do I not care? But then I feel like if I'm anything other than, and so what had happened in this side when we were over here, I was like, to the no, and I ran. And if y'all are stuck, like when I give my tours, I'm like, I'm not like, and over here to the right. You see, I'm not professional by any means, apparently.
Right.
I am. I got a certificate I printed off Microsoft Word.
Stupid.
I'm going to go back up to Melvin. Had another good question. Want to know how hard it is to become acclaimed with acclimated with someone else's style of investigation. What have you learned to do from others and learned what not to do from others? I definitely learn from others, and I always go into this thing with an open mind.
Mm-hmm.
Now, there's definitely some things that I see people do that I'm like, yeah. But I'm never going to tell that person or be an asshole about it. They're
Right.
doing their own thing. That's fine. And, in our group, like with Dark Alley, we're open to whatever anybody wants to do.
Mhm.
Yeah, we don't care.
That's how we learn. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. We didn't waste time. This is what we're trying to do. This is what we're learning. We're all learning at the same time. So and there are people, it is hard to get acclimated, not to people's style of investigation, but to people in general.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That is the real or not the problem, but the real hurdle you have to jump when you're doing an investigation. But, I think this circle, to prove it, this circle, even right here, I've investigated, or, well, maybe not with Ashley, but we've talked and we've been on each other's shows. So we have an idea of how each other thinks.
Mm-hmm.
This is the circle of that I know I could work with. And you kind of get that circle. It's just experience. You just keep going out there and doing it. And if so-and-so person A says, let's go investigation, you go out and maybe they talk too much during EVP sessions or they were shitty about stuff, then you just don't go out with them again.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's not about people's style. It's about people themselves for me.
Yeah, because if you don't like the person, it doesn't matter how much you work with them, you're not going to get acclimated to their style because you don't want to.
Right.
You might investigate, okay, but your energy funky, bitch.
Exactly.
Right.
I do it.
Yep.
Yeah. Hey, so if I go with someone say first time I went out with Heisenberg, we never knew each other. He goes in there and everything is demonic and everything. I'm like, okay, that's what you think, but I'm not gonna work with you again.
Yeah.
That was a hell of a first date.
Yeah, right. So it's like I said, it's the person, it's not their style.
Right. I don't know.
It's jolly as fuck.
Right. So what are I guess I know some of you guys have to get off after the first hour, so we're kind of getting to that time a little bit here.
John, you gotta leave.
What's that? Sorry.
Did you raise your hand that you have to leave?
Yeah, but I didn't raise my hand. But yes, I do believe it.
I do when my son messages me. I have to pick him up from work.
Okay.
I need to go take Flexerol and Billy and Advil.
It's definitely not good for you.
No.
It's just crazy. I'm going to have to blame just for 1 second. My right side, I had a kidney stone in it last week.
Yeah.
It's my body's revolting.
It's all that Pepsi, bro.
No, that can't be why.
Right.
Go.
Stupid. Good night, Jeff.
Night, buddy. Have a good holiday. This is everybody's watching. This is the last show of the season, so this is why we wanted to have all of our friends on and just kind of hang out and talk Christmas and paranormal and cold cuts and.
You should not say all of our friends. We have 4 friends.
Well, these are all of our friends.
That's about what I have.
Everybody here is all of our friends. We have a lot more friends, okay? But we asked all these people. We asked, and they immediately said yes. So you can only have so many people. I can't have 6 people on the show.
Right. It's too much. Yeah.
I can barely pay attention when it's just us.
Facts.
Yeah. Well, if you stay off the airplane simulator for a while.
I gotta fly, Ray. I gotta fly.
All right, Melvin has another question we can get worked out before John and Amber have to take off. Out of curiosity, what are you guys skeptic about? What is something you want to believe in, true or real, but don't like to admit out loud? That's a good question.
It is a good question.
What do you think, John?
Man, Melvin has these really thought-provoking questions. He had me on his show like a couple of years ago, and it's just like he always hits you with these questions where you have to think for like 3 minutes before you
right?
can
answer. Right.
That's
when the words get hard.
Yeah, I like him.
Yeah, same.
It's tough. I mean, I'm always skeptical going into locations, and try to have a skeptical mind about things. But I'm at that point now where I'm not really out there to prove things to other people. I just go for the personal experiences. But something that you want to believe is true, real, but don't want to admit out loud. I like to believe that Santa is real. So I feel like that's a pretty fitting response for Christmas. But no, as far as the paranormal goes, I don't know. I that's such a good question. Again, I really don't know what I would like to believe is true, real. I guess I would say ghosts, right? Because we can't prove that what we're talking to are ghosts or spirits. It could be interdimensional beings. Nobody really knows what we're talking to, but it would be comforting knowing, like, after we pass away, that there is something else out there. So I would like to believe that is real.
That's good.
Good answer. Good answer. What about you, Amber?
Oh gosh. Well, every
a loaded question, I know.
It really is. I approach everything with a little bit of skepticism in the paranormal field. You have to, even though I've seen stuff, heard stuff, everything since I was little. I'm still skeptical going into these places. You hear all these stories, but are they really true? I want to see for myself. I want to witness it myself so that I can get rid of a little bit of that skepticism.
Right.
But you have to approach everything with a little bit of skepticism so that, if you don't, then you're very gullible. And something I want to be true, I would say aliens. Why should we be the only ones out here?
They are real. I can attest to that. So,
Go ahead.
Why should we be the only ones out here?
Because we are.
We're not. We're not.
Well, you don't know.
There's a vast universe. I have seen things that I remain skeptic about, but I want to know.
Willie?
I'm going to just say cryptids in general. I
That's
would
good answer for both.
Would love to believe, but man, I just don't know what they could like. I go back to like the time slip kind of theory. Like, is it something like like Loch Ness? Was it some prehistoric creature that happened to just pop back in and out of the time stream or something? Like, I don't know. I want to believe all of that is true, but I have a hard time with it at the same time.
I could agree with that.
Yeah.
Ashley?
I'm skeptic about people who say they're experts or anyone who has that type of air about them. I'm incredibly skeptic of those people. While one of my favorite things about this is having other people to learn from. Everyone processes information differently, whether it even just be through our actual eyes, our ears, our auditory senses. All of our senses process things differently. And so I love seeing what everyone else brings to the table. What are they experiencing that I'm not? How are my experiences differing from them? But at the same time, there are so many people who, when they come in, they can't be told anything. There's no room for open discussion. Those types of people, I'm incredibly skeptic about, and especially giving them platforms. So because I have my show, I run into this a lot.
Yeah.
I know you guys do too. I'm an expert in da-da-da-da-da, and I have the followers, and you go look and it's 20 followers, and the expertise that they're claiming is.
I've had a couple messages come through where people say, "You have to have me on your show."
Yeah.
Like,
I don't
do
answer those emails.
Yep.
What's your name? What's your name?
I always tell them
Like,
I'm
what?
booked and then send them to somebody else. That way,
Oh,
and
so
it's
that's
usually
why we get them.
That's why we get them.
Actually, probably. I just send them to RU, and I'm like, maybe someone else in the network wants you guys. Because I mean, I'm not trying to be like a dick, you know. Maybe somebody else does want them. Somebody else might need like the guest, but at the same time, I don't want you. So, you know,
Yeah.
if y'all don't want to meet it, that's cool. Maybe somebody will pick them up one day because they just have to have them on, you know.
Right.
Yeah.
And I'm not ashamed. Like it's not that I don't like to admit it out loud. I will admit it proudly. I believe the dragons and things of that nature are real. Like they're elementals of sorts. When you like the spectrum of thinking of it like that, like spirit guides and guardians and things, spirit animals, protectors, just like natives have spirit animals that protect them. I truly believe in dragons being one of those things.
Damn it, Storm! Now I got to worry about dragons.
No, don't worry. I'm the mother of dragons. They won't attack unless I tell them to. You're good for now.
All right.
I'll let you heal first.
Yeah. Okay. Make it a little bit fun for them, right?
Yeah, exactly. You gotta be able to run just a little bit.
Yeah, because right now I would just lay on the ground and say, "Take me."
Yeah, there's no fun in that.
So,
what about you?
I am completely skeptic about people who, as soon as a celebrity dies, they are talking to them. I'm a skeptic about that.
Just makes you want to punch a hole through a wall, don't it?
You see, that's like the biggest trend on TikTok right now. After Aaron Carter died, and I don't know why the TikTok. I guess it bleeds over into Facebook Reels because I don't even use TikTok. But like when I'm scrolling through the Reels and stuff, it was nothing. 4 or 5 different sessions of them doing aerobics session, and it was for like 2 seconds. You know what I'm saying? It was like, oh my god, did you hear it said fentanyl when it was like, and they were like,
I don't know. I just feel like those people probably have more important things to do, like say goodbye to their loved ones, and you know what I mean. Like, I don't know. I'm just completely skeptical of that.
Yes. Who's that fucker that does it for realsies? The real famous guy. I know y'all know who I'm fucking talking.
We don't say his name. We don't say his name.
Why don't we say his name? Why is that a thing and I wasn't notified?
The new Voldemort.
He gets too much. He gets too much viewership. I don't know.
Gotcha. I'm okay with that. I just don't even. I seriously don't even remember his name, but I know that he's fucking infuriating. That everyone's like, "Oh my god, this is so amazing!"
Right? Like,
that's what pisses me off the most is that people are so gullible that they fall for that shit.
Right.
And that's what in the paranormal is like seen as evidence and like, look what I captured after we busted our ass 15 hours in a fucking location. Yeah, whatever. Yeah, cool.
Is there something that you're afraid to say out loud that you do believe in there, D?
No, I don't. I mean, I'm not really afraid to say anything out loud. I've said some pretty messed up things on here. No, I don't. I mean, I'm with Willie. I would like for cryptids to be real, especially puckwudgies. Like, if we're being honest, that's my favorite. Like, just the fact that they, will only bother you if you're an asshole, basically. It's like my spirit animal. So
she won't tickle one.
Yeah. She wants one to do her bidding is what she wants.
Right? Like Puckwudgie, he was mean to me.
Like an attack dog, but a demon.
Go get him. Yeah.
Right.
But like they're generally playful, but not if you're... Right. And I think that it's because that they are like, they know your intentions even. Like, you don't have to say mean things out loud. They just know that you're an asshole. And I like that.
Hope they can't get in the cars driving by people then, because...
Right.
I don't know what that means.
Any thoughts?
I've grown skeptical of everything in the paranormal.
Yeah.
I have.
You know what? I have those moments.
Yeah.
Especially the people, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Exactly. And then the one I don't want to admit out loud is the Pocatani devil cow.
First of all, it's the Punxsutawney.
Pocatani.
That first one sounded better.
Yeah, it does. It does. I'm like, Pokemon. What?
I keep saying it. I keep pronouncing it wrong all the time anyway. So.
Yeah, that's funny, dude. I mean, I'm basically skeptical of some of the people. I mean, and I only say this because I do way too much thumbing through Facebook and TikTok and what people are doing out there, and all the drama. I'm skeptical of the drama and the people that are starting it and what people believe in other people are doing. I'm just the people in general. I'm skeptical.
Yeah.
I believe in what I'm doing, and that's. I mean, I believe in the people that I keep around me and close. Something that I really want to be real is the cryptids, Sasquatch in general. I do, and I am probably less skeptical than most people that he exists. In what form, I have no idea. And honestly, I don't unless I know somebody in particular likes talking about the paranormal, it's not something that I'm just like, hey, I like the paranormal.
Yeah.
I don't know you, but I believe in Sasquatch. What's up? You know, because I don't really care what they're going to think, but it's just,
Yeah.
A lot of times more people are like, oh, yeah, that's awesome, man. So let's talk about that. I mean, I'll bring it up if, like, I saw a guy at work that I rarely ever talk to. He drove up. He's got all these Sasquatch stickers on the back of his car. I'm like, here's a guy I can talk to.
Right.
You know what I mean? So we started talking, exchanging podcasts and stuff that we like. But yeah, just in general, because then a lot of people ask me why. And I don't feel like I need to explain why I believe in this stuff. It's just, I do. I either do or I don't. And I don't like being put on the spot like that. And I don't like being judged based on my answer. So, because I really don't care. It's just, it's not the fact that I'm afraid to be hurt. It's the fact that I just really don't care to explain why I believe in something.
Right.
That's why I stopped wearing my dark alley stuff to the grocery store and stuff. Too many people were talking to me. I don't want to talk to anybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's another part of it.
Yep. So do you guys have to leave now, or are you guys good for a little bit longer?
Yeah, I should probably get going. He messaged me and asked me to come get him soon. I suppose I should get my child.
I
guess. Yeah, I guess that's part of the deal, right?
I guess. So.
Well, I wanted to thank you guys both for coming on, and I wish you a happy holiday and just have a good one. We got to have you come back when you guys have more time.
Yeah, thanks.
And we will all be working together at some point next year, right? That's the goal for 2023, right?
Including me.
Always.
That's a good goal.
Including you, Ashley.
I do want to make a road trip.
Yeah.
That would be fun.
My goal in general for 2023 before you guys sign off is just to do more. That's it. I don't have any specifics. Just do more. So
yeah, that's a good goal.
Mine for 2023 is I've done too much.
How about not be hurt in some way or form or sick? That's a good one. Stay healthy.
It's that kid, man. It's that freaking kid.
No, it's a germ factories. That's the only thing they do share is germs.
He won't be coming to say goodnight tonight because he obviously, since Kate tested positive for COVID, he's stayed at her Mima's house.
Oh.
Wow.
Yeah, daycare right now is not fun.
Yeah.
No. Not even schools. I mean, kids are like RSV and the flu are horrible right now.
Listen, we put these kids in a germ-free bubble for 2 years, and now they're exposed to germs again, and their bodies don't know what the hell to do.
Right. It's awful.
Yeah.
And nobody can take any more time off work because they were off work for 2 years. So
right.
It's not fun. So, but thank you guys for having me on.
Yeah.
No problem. We'll talk to you soon, Amber.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye, John.
Keep us tuned in what everything's going on, man. We'll have you back on when you can, and have a good holiday, bud.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for having me on, guys. Happy holidays to everybody, and hope everybody has a happy and healthy, holiday season. And feel free to reach out if you guys want anything or need anything.
Yeah, appreciate it, man.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Bye, John.
Bye.
Cool.
I really wanted to get to this question, but I wasn't trying to be rude.
Well, Ashley and Dave are hanging with us for a little bit, aren't you guys?
Maybe.
Cool.
She's like, I'm just going to leave, and you'll find out when I'm leaving.
You don't have your haunted asylum to get you away from the show. It was a joke. Smile, damn it. Yeah.
Me?
Yeah,
like,
you.
You're the only one that owns a haunted asylum.
You freaked me out because I was like, wait, do I have a booking today?
No, it's still the last time. I remember the last time we had you on, you were live from the asylum because you had a group in there and had to leave because they were
they ran out screaming.
Being stupid or something.
Yes. Yeah. They got scared as shit is what it was. And almost got ran over running into the street trying to get away.
So this is a good question from Kit. Hopefully she's still watching. Or he, sorry.
Yeah.
Any thoughts on ghosts being tulpas? Creatures created by energy of thoughts.
I think that's 100% real.
I agree. Why do you think it's
because I think when people have really good energy or really bad energy and they put that shit out there, then that's exactly what they get back. And it's not necessarily because like when somebody with a shitty energy walks into a building, it just so happens that every spirit is shitty. No, it's just a reflection of your energy. You know, and somebody who has a good positive energy can walk into a place, you know, like a prison or an asylum or somewhere that's like known for being negative and have nothing but positive experiences because that's what they're putting out there. Right. I'm a firm believer in that.
They changed the settings on here. This is weird. Okay.
I don't like how big my face is.
What's that?
Said I don't like how big my face is. That was too much.
That's weird. I don't know why they did that. All right.
Oh my God, I was on Sean Gilmore's show and he was like, okay, now it's time for the whatever. And they do like questions for their guest at the end. Yes. And they like only put your face up on the screen. And I was like, oh God, please stop. That's terrible. What if somebody's watching on a computer or a TV or something? Like, stop. Right.
Oh, by the way, I'm glad to find out a couple months ago, or no, not even that, maybe like a month ago, that intro that we shot with you guys at MadCon the one year that you.
Oh yeah, that I hate it and I won't use it.
I love it.
I think it's awesome.
I wish someone would have told me that.
You did a great job. I mean, like the filming and the editing is great. I just hate the way I look at it, so I won't let them use it. Sorry.
We use it when she's not on the show.
Yeah, when it's just me and him, that's when we use it.
So, does anyone else believe in that or no?
In what?
I think that almost like, for example, the Sarah spirit at Madison.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I think that's just been something that's been perpetuated for so long since the original ownership was allowing people into the buildings.
Right.
I mean,
that's been Sarah's room forever.
Yeah, it's like why wouldn't you respond to people calling you Sarah or if something possibly manifested as a result of people just thinking that there was a child running around in there? Like, we don't know, but it is what it is, I guess.
It's not necessarily an entity. It's just everybody's energy stained the walls. Like everybody coming in there and bringing toys for Sarah and dolls for Sarah and blah blah blah. Like
the energy made its own entity.
Yes,
it is an entity, but it's an entity of energy. It's an energy form.
Yeah,
that's what a tulpa is. It's pure energy, basically.
I never even heard that word before. I like it.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I agree, and I was going to use what Wooly used for the example. I mean, I think we were working on something. She was calling them thought forms, where you just basically, so many people believe in this thing because that's what they've been told, that the legend's been there. You're just feeding into it like a fire. You're just throwing wood in this fire that just keeps raging and growing, and then before you know it, you have an entity that people have created by transferring that energy into this thing, or this what entity, or just when you want to call a pocket of energy, that it becomes a real thing.
So where was it at? So two parts to that, because it was very interesting. Both D's double D's up there. The energy thing. So where the fuck is it? Oh my god, I'm trying to find it. The ghost being Tulpa. So I'd say I'm horrible at math, but I'd say about 80% of the home investigations I do, because that's a lot of what I like. People don't realize that because I don't ever put that out there because it's personal shit. But I'm constantly doing home investigations in between doing the asylum too, and about 80% of those, it's not. They're like, oh, it's something demonic, it's something evil in here. Da da da. It's their own energy, their sickness, their mental health, all of these different things going on top of clutter. All of those cases, it's like horribly cluttered and just like dirty. Like you can actually create your own ghost, which is a tulpa basically. You can create your own haunting in that way. So basically, I cleanse and bless the place based on whatever their religion is, and actually clean and help them clean. And that in itself, basically, like when you like put some holy water on somebody, it's because it's a mental thing.
Right.
Yeah.
It's a mental thing. So most of the time, like, nothing's ever happened since you left. And it's like, it's because it's you, but you can't tell them that.
Yes.
Right.
Not tell them that. You can be like, well, you're causing your own shit, so calm down, all right?
I catch so much shit because I tell people all the time, I don't believe in like sage and crystals and all that shit. Like it is 100% you believing that those things protect you. That is what protects you.
Not necessarily sage, but I do believe crystals because the elemental properties all have a purpose, no matter what it comes down to. Like, so we'll just agree to disagree on that one. I do believe crystals work. Sage and stuff, if you're not native, why the fuck are you using sage? Like, that's my thing. If you don't know, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You shouldn't, like, if it's not going to work for your set, meh. But crystals work. Maybe that's just me. Maybe it's because I'm powerful as shit. My crystals just work hella hard. I don't know.
But it's also your energy too, though.
Yes, very much so.
I think that people put too much credit into the item.
Oh, absolutely. Like, this crystal saved my life.
Yes. Like, you changed your life. You did that. You protected yourself when you went into that building. Like, you changed your attitude and made yourself more positive. You know what I mean? People don't give themselves enough credit. Your brain is so freaking powerful, and people, like, just totally disregard that. And they always want to, like, give credit to something inanimate. Like, no, bitch, that was you. You did that.
One other thing, I think some cryptids are tulpas. I think certain cryptids, especially the ones that pop up that are newer, because it's a variation of stories that have been told. Like, there's all different, there's the swamp apes, there's Sasquatch, there's Yetis, you know what I'm saying? There's variations of everything. I think everything started off as one being that all of these people encountered, and then playing the telephone game amongst countries and cultures and civilizations. The tulpas, you literally are sitting around. How did word travel before all of this technology? Sitting around and telling these stories with your words, your energy, and speaking these things into life. I think a lot of the cryptids, especially the variations of a certain type of cryptid, are tulpas themselves.
That's,
like on Sasquatch investigations, just like how we can create our own ghost or activity on investigations, can we not create our own Sasquatch noises and smells? And because we already know these things beforehand, we already have that knowledge to make those circumstances happen. If we think about it hard enough, is that what we're experiencing rather than the actual cryptid or entity itself?
Right.
Mind blowing.
Yeah,
that's a good theory. I like that. Kit also had mentioned in basic terminology, do you think that sometimes we witness hauntings that are across dimensional, like where things merge at a certain time? Like
I think so. Like Wolver's story with the couple standing with their arms locked.
Right.
I feel like stuff like that is a time slip.
Right. And I kind of like what Andrea said, that she, like, her thought on Bigfoot or Sasquatch is the same thing. Like, what if it's like, I think it was Dustin Pari that brought it up?
Yeah, it was Dustin.
That he thinks that, or one of his theories is that what if we're seeing ourselves, like in a time slip at a certain point where we're like looking back at ourselves as prehistoric, or like when we were those things before we evolved into what we are now.
And that's why we never find any bones, because it's like it's just a glimpse.
Right. And then there's the whole alien theory, which I don't know about that one yet, but there's been a lot of correlation.
Yeah, I do believe in aliens, but I think that the specific thing he's talking about is like, a hairless figure with a bigger head, like, I don't know that it's always necessarily attributed to being an alien sighting. They might just say they saw something weird, whatever, different names for it.
Yeah, so it's all interesting stuff. Did we just have something on the question, or was it just a general?
I don't know what
rakes.
I'd have to look that one up because that term is familiar, but I do not remember what that is.
I got a rake back here.
Yeah. Oh.
I have a problem with Bigfoot. I have a problem with it because there's so much technology out there. Somebody's got to be able to find it. There's satellites that are watching us right now.
Maybe they did.
You have to.
Why is Ashley muted?
Ashley yelling at me.
You have to.
Yeah, but she's muted.
Is Ashley yelling at me?
Yes, because fuck. God damn it. Yeah, you. I said it's because the people who are controlling the satellites don't want us to know about it. Why do you think that's why we never see it? Do you know how many National Forest Park workers, they literally have like entire fucking units that, see, you're making me knock shit off of my fucking desk. Entire units that are dedicated to just paranormal cases, UFO sightings, Sasquatch sightings, ghost shit. Because they're hiding it from us. They literally just sat there and unveiled and were like, hey, BTW guys, I know we're in quarantine and there's wars and shit, but guess what? Aliens are real. And
right.
Like,
here's your stimulus check.
Yeah. And then everybody forgot about it. What was that movie? It was like, I want to say it was Men in Black. Where they say people, like, a person is smart, but people as a whole are stupid. And if they knew the truth, then they would panic and they would, do stupid things.
That's why our presidents get debriefed and they can never. Have you ever seen the look on their face when they're actually asked? Because it's declassified to them when they take office because something might happen. Mm-hmm. Do you ever see the very few presidents anyone's ever had the balls to ask about whether or not they were real before all that shit got declassified? The look on their faces was like, oh no, right. Like put on your best poker face and then right. You both like a salt earth thing. How many specimens you got? I want to see.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Assholes.
I think it's honestly just crazy to believe that there's not aliens, though. Sorry, Heisenberg.
Why is it crazy to believe that?
Because if you look up at the stars,
yes,
and then you imagine that every single one of those stars is a sun that has planets revolving around it.
Okay.
Like, you don't think that on one of those endless number of planets that there's other life?
No.
He does it out of fear.
I'm not afraid. Kate just said I was afraid.
It's out of fear.
Thank you, Kate. Yeah.
Of course they're going to come and abduct me. I'm the crazy one, so like nobody's going to believe me when I say I was abducted by aliens.
Yep.
They'll just wonder why he's walking funny.
That's why you're
Okay, I don't believe in that part of aliens. Like,
I really don't think
it always
aliens.
seems like it's some farmer and he gets anal probes and like, I don't believe all that stuff.
What if the aliens are just really freaky and you're just dissing their game right now? Don't kink shame, Denise. Don't kink shame.
You do you, boo.
You go, aliens. You go.
Right. That's what you're into, I guess.
This is a Christmas show, guys. Gosh.
Oh,
Merry Christmas.
Happy family times.
Ashley yelled at me.
It sounds like a family Christmas conversation.
Oh, shit. I definitely don't believe in that part of aliens, but I feel like it's pretty crazy to believe that there's not aliens.
Well, how could you not believe that part of the aliens and believe the rest of the aliens?
Because I believe that if aliens are
Because
here,
the anal probing is the most logical part of the whole argument.
I don't
Makes
know.
sense to
I just
me.
feel like if they're going to, like, if we were to go explore another planet, I don't think that we'd just be going around anal probing everything. I feel like we'd be doing studying and observing and all kinds of
How do you
things.
think
You're
you
not going to
study
know once you
things?
get out there, D. You don't know what's out there.
You probe it. And
I don't think that's how that works. I mean, unless they have some alien technology that once they probe something, they know everything about it.
and that could just be the easy. You don't know how their technology works.
That's
Again,
true.
don't kink
Yeah.
shame, but also be like, maybe that's just how they work. And I'm sorry, but as a human race, we've done a lot worse than that to ourselves. We have literally had a whole fucking generation of people who eat Tide Pods. It's not so crazy to think that a far off
Right.
civilization that's like millions of light years away from us is like, and okay, so think of this. Instead of opening us up and tearing us apart like we're a game of operation, they do that and somehow they read all of our internal organs, and like that's just how they get a scan of our entire anatomy, and that's like them being nice about it. They could be like way more rude. You know what I'm saying?
That's
They might
true.
be
Yeah.
the head of the stick, but
Yeah.
I believe in Bigfoot more than aliens. You disagree?
I disagree.
Oh.
No, that's for my opinion. I disagree.
Boss
You
Lady
believe-
Kate has spoken.
All right, well, the show's over. We know everything now. So
Yeah.
Boss
But-
Lady has said it what it is.
Melvin's right, because that was like the 90s, early 2000s. Like
Right.
everybody was claiming that was happening to
I
them.
think people really do, but I think that their memory is wiped well enough that they don't remember it. So the ones who actually have been abducted aren't the ones that are like calling TMZ and the National Enquirer being like, hey, so I was out there in my lawn watering my 4 goats, and then what had happened was 4
Right.
huge lights came across the sky with it. Well, dang all I know it, I was up in the air. Next day my butt hurt. You know what I'm saying? So people
Yeah,
Sounds like a good cover-up story.
She's got to stop
Right.
making me laugh.
I truly believe that there are people who have had experiences and been abducted, not necessarily for experimentation purposes, but like actually kind of like they tag us. You know how we tag creatures to keep track of them?
Yeah.
I think that happens. We're a study. You said why then would they study us? I think that's how they study us.
Yeah.
Wouldn't
I
you
need
do
someone
it?
to start writing that movie.
I'm already doing it. TM.
Hey,
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I feel like they're already here and they already know everything about us.
We do.
Oh, she said we. She said we, Heisenberg. She's an alien. He's like, I gotta go.
All right.
I'm gonna have
Oh
to
my
hop
gosh.
out in like 10 minutes so T can get ready for work.
Okay.
Ugh.
So before you go,
You have anything to plug? Oh, Denise was going to try to steal my line.
no, I gave it to you.
Shit. Hold on.
She's like, let me check my calendar. That's full every single day.
Okay, so tomorrow actually, Storming the Unknown season 4 drops. Woo-woo, with a special premiere. I'm keeping my show on Monday nights, but this was the only time the gents could do it because they're so friggin' busy with all of the shits now.
Yeah.
So I actually have Aaron Thompson and Nick Simons from the awesome Netflix hit 28 Days Haunted. They will be on from 5 to 7 on the one and only RU Media Network. Which
Nice.
is
Very nice.
then Jesus. Let's go down the schedule. Okay. So I take that week off and we start the full seasons. December 19th is a paranormal roundtable. It's the female in the paranormal. It's going to be myself, Stormy Daniels, Alex Matsuo, and Heather Moser.
Nice.
Big Town Monsters.
Small Town Monsters.
There
right?
you go.
Yeah.
It's going to be super freaking awesome. I love chatting with those ladies, and it's going to be a creepy good time. Girl power. Whoop, whoop. You're welcome to join if you want to too, but I saw you were so busy slinging houses. I was like, let me not bother this bitch. But if you want to come on, you can come. So, and then
Eisenberg will come on.
we have that weekend. Yeah, he will. We have that weekend off because of Christmas and New Year's and all that stuff. So that whole week we're kind of taking off. January 9th, actually, I have Josh Passmore, who is one of my favorite things ever. So I got to MC at Tyler Comic-Con recently, which was literally like my dream come true. When they asked me, I was like, you know who I am, right? Like, you know, you're messaging the wrong person. Like, why the fuck would you want me to do it? Like, you know, why me type shit. But I also got to MC and be a panel moderator for all of like the talent and stuff, and got to meet Josh Passmore, who's a voice actor for like some of my favorite animes. He's in Attack on Titan. Your girls would know a lot of this, Goose. Attack on Titan, Fire Force, Black Clover, you know, Fairy Gone, Fairy Tale, Fury, First King, like just so many amazing freaking, and he's just the coolest dude ever. Like, he's a huge sweetheart, but he also loves the paranormal.
Nice.
Every single one of the people who is talent at the Comic-Con booked something with me because they all had experiences. So I'll be actually having them on this season. Josh Passmore will be on. And then the 16th, it's still tentative for who that is, so I'll wait for that one. The 23rd is Daryl Marston from A&E's Ghost Hunters. You guys know that show and love it.
Sorry.
And then I have.
I'm ready to let bygones be bygones at this point.
Don't forget, you have to schedule the Heisenberg fan club.
For who? For what? No, I'm just kidding.
Ashley's the president.
Yeah, she is.
But then I'll be having Thomas Hunsaker on. We're going to be talking about Black Mirrors and that experiment that they have going on. One of them is at Velisca, I do believe, right? Or it's at Velisca, or it's one of those two up there.
Yeah.
There's because Malvern, I think, is the other one. Malvern's where it's at. Malvern Manor. But they're going to put one in the asylum when they come down next year. So all of these locations will be connected through Black Mirrors, and so we'll talk more about the Black Mirror experimentations. I have a couple of people from MUFON coming on, so we are going to do UFOs at the same time. And then to finish out the season, I'm going to be doing the coverage, and it's called Victims' Voices. So a lot of the true crime stuff, we're only focusing on the actual people who committed the crimes. We're like, this was so-and-so, they were killed by da-da-da, and then we spend the rest of the 45 minutes learning about the criminal, but not the person. So I've actually been working and reaching out with families of victims and basically putting together entire profiles of who these people were, what their lives were, where did they think that they would have been now if they were still here, and just kind of like a tribute of remembrance, instead of every time you Google, you know, that crime and all of these crime documentaries popping up and giving, you know, view and time to all of the criminals, sit there and give voices to the victims.
I like that.
Cool. What I'm starting to gauge more towards, it's going to be a separate series that I end up doing all together.
Nice.
December 10th. Jesus Christ.
Deep breath.
There's so much. I have to do this every time. They always make me go first because I'm like, and then on Saturday we have. So December 10th, it is downtown Kilgore. So I apparently at Geekin did a reading for the mayor of downtown Kilgore, but didn't know he was the mayor because he was like all nerded out that day. But then I've been asked to do the public ghost tours and like actually basically use all of downtown Kilgore as an investigation site.
Nice.
So we're doing a Christmas Carol in downtown Kilgore this year, a Christmas Carol haunting, and it is. Give me 1 second. It starts at 7, and what we're gonna have is people dressed like the Christmas Carol characters, Scrooge, ghosts and stuff. And as we're moving from location to location, the actors are going to follow us in the traditional garb and tell the stories from a Christmas Carol. So it'll be like haunted in a very holiday way.
There you go.
Cool.
Yeah, and then if you guys have not checked it out, Deathwalker Season 2, Episode 2 is on FilmRise now. It's under newly added TV. It's really hard to actually find on the platform. Like if you search for it, it won't pop up.
Huh.
But if you go on my page, the actual link that I have in there takes you directly to it.
Okay,
Nice.
cool.
Oh my gosh. Bookings are open. I only have about 7 spots left for next year. Hoping they
Wow.
again, though, most of those were donated. Didn't really make money because I'm an idiot. And then I have December 17th. I know that maybe some of the people are listening will be in my area or the Oklahoma area, but we're doing a cancer fundraiser for Pat McClellan. It's one of our good friends. He does all of the metaphysical stuff for us, like our crystals, all that stuff. Yeah. He and his wife supply it. And he was just diagnosed with colon cancer. So we're doing an overnight paranormal investigation fundraiser. It's $100 per ticket, but you get to be there from 2 p.m. all the way until 8 a.m. the next morning. And I'll have a food vendor on site. You get the full haunted history tour. You can sleep over. It's a full investigation. It includes a lot for just being $100, and it's more time than you get from most events with that price.
Right.
And it goes towards a good cause. Everything that we make goes back towards him. On my page, you guys can find that and the links for the GoFundMe and their Cash App if you guys want to donate. I'm also doing, I promise it's the last thing. We're doing the Veterans Fundraiser. Okay. Veterans Homeless Shelter Fundraiser. Motherfuckers. Okay. So it worked last time I did it, so maybe it'll focus this time.
Hold on.
All right. So the winter drive for the Homeless Veterans Shelter of Dallas, the weather pack, safety packs, sanitary packs, food packs, and then we put them together every year and get them delivered out there. And then whatever's left over, I use to donate to the relief efforts. Because in this area, there's always like a tornado or such a bad storm that, there's devastation basically constantly. Right. Or in Louisiana, I go back for the hurricanes. So anything that we don't use for this homeless shelter drive actually gets donated to other things anyway. Peggy Goodell basically filled half of my Amazon list, of course. So most of that is taken care of. Donations you can send to my PayPal or Cash App or Venmo, and that just goes towards the food because buying it in bulk at Sam's and stuff is so much easier than buying it for much more online. But yeah, other than that, you can just check out my page. It's public, so basically everything that's going on, y'all can creep on.
Nice.
Yes. I
Sweet.
that.
Well, we appreciate you coming on with all your shit going on.
Yeah.
Spending time with us.
Yeah, thanks for taking out the time and hanging out with us.
That's literally my favorite thing to do is to hang out with you guys. Aside from ghosts and my child, like this is the adult time I get in my life. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah. Yeah, it's like therapy. It really is.
It really is. Thank you guys so much for having me on. Anytime you ask me, I'm like, they're going to get tired of me eventually, but you haven't yet. Suckers!
Never.
You got too much stuff going on. I don't think anybody would be tired of it.
Right.
All cute. No, I'm just kidding. Thank you guys so very much.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Happiest of holidays. I want to squish every single one of your faces and just Thank you for all you guys do, especially you, Willever. You're like the silent beast behind all of this. But
right.
I don't know if you guys email him as much or message him as much as I do for login codes, but you're the MVP, my guy. Because
if I don't catch it the first time, just send it again.
We'll try 7 times, but you get it eventually, and I love it. Because I'll forget. I'm like, I'll forget that I'm actually trying to set it up, and then he's messaged me back with the code, and I'm like, oh, hey,
I forgot.
Sorry. You the realist, Wooly. You the realist. I appreciate you.
He's a trooper for putting up with all of us.
No shit.
Seriously, he's the ringmaster of this shit show, y'all. Give him the props.
Right?
And remember, this is in our real job, so he's got stuff outside of this he's got to deal with. So.
Yeah. Well, this is the most fun part about it, so I appreciate all that.
Awesome. All right, Ashley.
You guys have a good night. Thank you so much.
You too.
Bye.
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 Uh-oh.
So Melvin's got a question for you specifically, David.
Read it to me, Goose.
Have you considered doing an? Oh, never mind. Have you
ASMR?
considered doing? Have you considered doing an RU episode that is cryptic hunt investigation? Would be interesting to see if Rebecca could pick up on anything and seeing people outside of their elements. Interesting.
I would, if I could speak on behalf of Adam, probably not. But the funniest part about that would be getting Rebecca out into the woods looking for Sasquatch.
Yeah.
But
I wonder how that works, though.
Yeah, I don't know that.
I mean, he makes an interesting point. Like,
yeah.
I wonder if Becca could pick up on
it'd be
that sort of
interesting
thing.
for sure. At least if there's if there was any, like, if it is something that's, popping in and out of whatever,
right?
Like, could that energy shift? Like, could that be something she could pick up on?
Would a psychic pick up on it? Yeah,
that would be interesting.
That's a really good question.
We are going to be doing the cryptid type thingies for Mysteries of the Road.
Yes. So. Cannot wait. It's going to be so much fun.
Maybe Becca could be a guest on one of your episodes.
I would absolutely love it.
Because I really am interested now.
I've never thought about that until right now.
Right.
And honestly, we could, if we could just get her into an area that she doesn't have to worry about too much nature-y type stuff. Like, I mean, I don't know how she feels about it. She might strap on some hiking boots and go.
Appalachia. Yeah.
Right.
She's fine.
Right. She's pretty hardcore. So I don't. I've just by watch. I watched Expedition Bigfoot, and I have great comments, and I have not great comments about that show. But one episode they did actually bring out a psychic that did. They did bring out a medium who did like a remote reading of the area, and whether it's true or not, I mean, it could have all been staged. I don't know, but he was able to find areas where he thought they would see or witness something or find something, and of course, they've found those areas, but no Bigfoot was found. They did find evidence of Bigfoot though, or of an animal that they could not identify through the DNA that they picked up on certain hair that they picked off of. So.
And here's an interesting thought. Like, okay, so I've talked to Becca so many times about what she does and how it comes across and whatever, and it's not always straightforward, right? Like, my favorite example is when she saw an arm that looked like it was bleeding and like the skin was falling off, and to her that meant that's my flesh and blood, right? Not everybody would go there with that,
right.
But they show her things in a way that she will know how to interpret it, right? That's like how it works for psychics, I guess. But so now if she goes into the woods and she does manage to pick something up, is she going to pick up, I'm sensing a lot of fear here and whatever? Is she going to pick up on like the emotions of the Bigfoot? Or is she going to know that that's where they're coming from? Because she doesn't always know that it's a woman is saying this or a man is saying this, or, whatever. Like, does it work between species? Like, is she just going to pick up on the emotions of the Bigfoot and say, maybe she does pick up on male or female, but do we know that it's human?
Right.
Yeah, I don't know. That's so wild to think about.
I know. That's now my brain's like, I have like a million questions right now.
Rabbit hole.
Pull Becca right now.
Just like Becca.
Right.
Find Bigfoot.
Wait.
Super important. Can you talk right now?
Right.
She texts me in 10 minutes.
Right.
That's happened before.
Sometimes you just have to say it.
There was actually one of the craziest things. I want to say it was during COVID and all the craziness, obviously, but there was just a day that I had to go into the office, and it was just one of those days that you don't want to be there. You don't want to be doing anything. Everything's just grumpy, and you're not your best self.
Yeah.
Not half an hour after I got home, I get a phone call from Kimmel. Hey, so Becca was concerned, so I had to call you. Hey, what's going on? What's going on, Willie? How we feeling?
That's funny.
Awesome.
So, did I ever tell you about the time I tried to ask for Project to talk to Becca?
No.
Listen, that was one of those things that I was like, okay, people can do that, whatever. But I really needed something. I needed Kimmel for something. And it was like a situation where I needed him to call me. I couldn't just call him. I don't even remember what it was about. But so my dumbass brain was like, just ask for Project. Like, Kimmel was explaining how he protects his house one time. Okay. So I was like, I know what he does. I could get through that. And so I decided I was going to try it. And so I sat there on my living room floor or on my couch, and I was just like trying to picture going into their house, whatever. And it was crazy because I did talk to Becca about it later, but I was right on everything. I was right on the layout of their house. I was right on the fact that they like had a certain type of door to their bedroom. Like so many things were like dead on. So, and I've never seen their house. I've never even seen a picture of the inside of it. It was their old house. But so I go into their house and I see Becca and she's sleeping and she wakes up and I go to tell her, I went to talk and she looked at me and she got scared. And then all of a sudden I woke up on my living room floor.
Wow.
I have no idea how I got back. I have no idea what happened.
Wow.
I just passed out and woke up on my living room floor. So now I just decided we're not going to try to do that anymore. But sometimes I will be like, just even just thinking, like Addie says all the time, that she'll just go, Becca, 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 Becca in her head. And Becca will just look at her and be like, what?
That's awesome.
That shit works with her.
Yeah. It's really the most fun that I've had in my time with the paranormal has always had Becca around.
Yeah.
It's just wild, some of the stuff that she's been able to do at some of these places. It never gets old.
And it seems like no matter where she goes, there's always so much activity. Like she has a beacon on top of her head and they just all like flock to her,
Yeah.
So he'd be a hardcore troll. That's awesome. I don't know. The thought of it kind of scares me. Like,
it's really freaky. Don't do it.
Yeah.
It's really weird.
Yeah.
I do not recommend. 0 stars. I was one of those things. I'm like, oh, okay, let's try this bullshit, and then that happened. And I'm like, okay, we won't be doing that again.
Right.
And is it one of those things where like Avatar, the Last Airbender thing, where like if someone like moves your body like back to your bedroom or something, like what happens then?
I don't know. How do you get back to your body?
True.
Where'd they put me?
Oh gosh, yeah. It was a weird experience. It was pretty cool. It honestly took me years to even tell Becca about it. And when I was, she was like, wait, what did my house look like? And I'm telling her, and she's like, oh my gosh, yes.
I have an unusual ability to be able to trick Becca, and just block her.
Really?
Oh, wow.
Yes.
I think it's got to be just you and Shelly that can do that.
She finds it very amusing.
I mean, do you think that's from working with her for so long? Or do you think that it's always been that way?
I think I've worked on it a little more probably than I should have.
Yeah.
But it's always just to just have fun, just to see if she's on her game or not.
Yeah.
She always is, but it's still fun. It's
just a weird thing to me. I feel like I block myself a lot more when Becca's around. And it's not like because I'm afraid of her or whatever. I just feel like there's a lot of shit going on up here that she probably doesn't want to see. And she's such a positive person. Like you don't want any part of this mess. So I'm just gonna make a wall and you're not gonna be able to get in it.
She'll find a way.
Yeah. She does.
I'll have to test it. I haven't spent enough time with Becca to know if she can read through me or not.
Yeah, when you're around her, just if you're even across the room from her, just look at her and just think in your head, like Becca, guaranteed before the third one, she'll look at you. She knows.
And he said he's serious. To open yourself up can be so intense, it could wreck your whole life. Yeah, I mean, I imagine it could.
Sure.
If it's not something that you're... I mean, I know there's people that have trained to do it and know how to control it and do it and be fine. But, you know, if you're just like Joe Blow like me, just trying it out just to see what happens, there could be a real negative thing happening.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mess with that.
What's that? No, I wouldn't either.
Yeah.
I mean, if I was with somebody that I trusted that could like train me how to do it correctly, I would be fine. But I mean, you know, I don't know. Another one for David. When he wanted to ask you and Eric, but he forgot. One of the biggest disappointments in regards to an investigation. One of your favorite memories, moments.
I would have to say one of the biggest disappointments in regards to an investigation actually would have to be not so much in the fact of we didn't get activity or weren't getting any kind of responses or having experiences. It actually came down to the tech. So the biggest disappointment was our third episode of Our Haunted Minds originally was supposed to be Indiana State Sanatorium.
Mm-hmm.
And when everything was said and done and we got back, the majority of our video files had no audio.
Wow.
At all.
That's exactly one of the reasons I would not want to get into that, because I don't have patience for that at all.
Yeah,
that's terrible.
That would happen. I'd be like, I'm done with this whole documentary or whatever I'm working on.
Yeah,
it's over.
And it was a lot.
Oh wow!
There were 3 of us, and it was a lot.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
That sucks so bad.
Oh,
what was that part of the question?
What's the and one of your favorite memories moments?
Meeting Heisenberg.
Absolutely. Meeting. I'll keep it broad. Meeting everyone that I have met so far that I didn't walk away wanting to slap. No, but I don't know if one of the coolest moments actually was on a Resident Undead investigation, and that would be Phillips Folly at the Kentucky Slave House down in Maysville, Kentucky.
I knew you were going to say that. Yep. That was one of my favorites too.
Yeah, there was just, the house was absolutely gorgeous. You could feel the energy. You're right by the Ohio River. Especially, going down in the basement of the place, you just feel every bit of it. And it was really cool to be able to go down and immerse myself in that space and be able to connect with something on that level.
Yeah,
that was amazing.
Right. Yeah, that was pretty awesome. I enjoyed that a lot. Most embarrassing moment? Is that for all of us, or probably you?
I'll say it's for all of us. Man, I'd have to think about that. I don't know if I've had really too many embarrassing moments.
I think for me, it was probably Waverly Hills when I actually thought I saw the creeper, but it was just a shadow of a raccoon. And I was actually more frightened by the raccoon when I was trying to track it down. So I turned around and the damn thing was on the ledge on the outside. Because I don't know if you've ever been to Waverly Hills, but like everything's
I
open to the
actually
outside,
haven't.
and there's like one side is like all balcony, like one long balcony that's outside of each room. So like
It's called
full
Phillips
moon,
Folly. Sorry.
full moon coming through there, hitting the raccoon and going in. It looked like this big creature walking on the wall. And that's all they talk about when you like do the tours, the creeper of Waverly Hills. And I just saw this thing and like it was just at a weird angle, and I were like, oh shit, we see it, guys. And I started walking up towards it, and it's getting bigger and bigger, and I look around there, fucking raccoon. And then I like literally had to like walk out of there because that thing scared the shit out of me.
Man, I don't fuck with raccoons, man.
Yeah.
Oh, trash
They
bandits.
got little critter thumbs. I don't like that. No, I think if I had to think about it, something embarrassing. Way back when I had a team called Southern Ohio Paranormal Investigations. Actually, it was Southern Ohio Paranormal Investigations Inc. Because there was another Southern Ohio or like Southeastern Ohio Paranormal Investigations or something like that. So I just wanted to differentiate it just that much more. But we were able to get access to our old middle school complex in the middle of town. I went through the school board and got permission, went in. We ended up going in there like 3 times, I think, but we filmed it one of the times. We did a 2-night investigation of the place. And at one point, I had put some kind of like an EMF detector or something up in like we were in the gymnasium, and it had like a runaround track at the top of the gym.
Yeah.
So I put an EMF detector up there, and then I'm going to go to the exit to get back down to the gym floor, and I thought that I had saw like an actual child out of one of the doorways to the opposite staircase. And I went to like take off, forgetting where I was, and actually tripped over one of the benches that was on the upper track, and came about this close to going through the rails down to the gym floor.
Oh no!
Oh my gosh!
Oh crap!
And that's on one of my personal YouTube channels.
Nice.
That's horrible, man. I don't know, Heisenberg, you have a most embarrassing moment, or you, Denise?
I think that in order to be embarrassed, you have to give a fuck what people think about you, and I just can't. I don't think so. I mean, I have a lot of like stupid shit that I've done, like the time where I told our guests at the seminary, I'm so good you had a glad time. Like that shit bothers me every single day of my life. But I also don't I don't film anything when I'm investigating. So if I have embarrassing moments, then I just forget about them and they're not on my personal YouTube channel.
See, when I get embarrassed for the stupid things that I do, it's not really because I care what other people are thinking. It's because I can't believe I just did that shit.
Yeah, like the tapioca.
Yeah, right, exactly. Saying something stupid, or like with the raccoon.
He does say something stupid. I'm not going to mention it on here because I don't want to.
I do.
Afterwards.
I say a lot of. Oh my god! Yeah. What about you, Heisenberg? You just embarrassed by me? I know you were.
No. What?
Right.
No, I don't know if I've had any embarrassing moments.
Rich had some questions for
my whole life's an embarrassing moment.
Yeah. So got time for a couple more questions, and then unfortunately we got to end it, guys. It's getting about to be that time.
Oh yeah.
But Rich wanted to know: is normal light better than using full spectrum lighting, or trying to capture apparitions? What do you think?
I've not used full spectrum lighting. We've just had regular lighting and infrared for the most part.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, full spectrum seemed to be more of a fad thing. Most people are still using IR that I know of.
Oh, and then it was kit.
I don't know. I've dabbled a little bit with it, but I don't film enough to really know. All I know is no matter what you're using, if it's seeing in the dark, there's so many ways that it can be contaminated. It's so hard to like
Mhm.
to pick up on something that might actually be an apparition or something. It's just the way IR and full spectrum, just the way they operate. It just they reflect off of things different, and it's too hard to say this is something and that's not. I'd rather
Mhm.
use regular light, you know, and catch a shadow that way, or or just filming the light completely.
Yeah.
Okay, I want to know if digital or analog tech better for capturing sound and images. That, I mean, we've always used digital.
Yeah,
I
I've
mean,
always used digital.
we've used magnetic tape recorder a couple times, but not enough. It's just too hard to keep up with. Like, I don't want to keep changing the tape and going through all these tapes and having to go back through all these tapes to listen to them. So
Mhm.
it's just, it's definitely less
running
convenient.
more of a risk of losing everything.
Oh yeah,
Right.
absolutely. I mean, you remember having to deal with the pencils on your tapes all the time when they would run out and be crazy. But yeah, yeah, I definitely would say just for ease and protection, digital. Whether it catches more or not, I couldn't tell you.
Okay, one more.
Okay.
Because Melvin has amazing questions.
How do you get over the fear of entering the unknown?
I
If
don't.
such a thing is possible.
That's my secret, Melvin. I'm always scared.
You're like the reverse Hulk.
Yeah. I Hulk out when I'm scared.
Mhm.
When the feelings
That means he's
get
already
too
big, but he gets real
When
tiny.
the feelings get too big.
He gets real tiny.
I think that it's good to be a little bit scared all the time, though. I
Yeah.
mean, then at least it like heightens your senses and all that stuff. But I personally, like, you can ask Shelly, I have come such a long way.
Yes,
Like
you
my first investigation at Madison, I refused to turn off my flashlight. I would not turn it off the entire night. Um, I've gotten a lot better. And I think that the reason is that I've realized that I am in control a lot more than I gave myself credit for previously. You know, I've realized that my mood going into a place is going to affect my night. So
Mhm.
whenever I pull onto the driveway of any haunted location, and it doesn't matter if it's Madison and I've been there 10,000 times, I'm still the same way. When I pull in the driveway, all my shit stays on the road. Any negativity I have, any anger I have, any fears I have, all of it has to stay on the street, does not come onto the property, because that's where things get dangerous. And I've seen it happen a ton of times. And so realizing that and realizing that I am in control and I do have the ability to protect myself was so huge for me in
Yeah.
getting over a lot of my fears.
I think I confuse fear more with excitement.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I would say.
Possibly,
More
yeah.
excitement than fear.
Yeah. Right. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I don't think, honestly, the things that instill fear in me the most are just like normal things. Like, for whatever reason, when we're looking for the paranormal, like researching the paranormal, it's more, I already go into everything with probably more of a skeptic than a believer mind. Like, I don't, I don't tend to just like jump to the conclusion that what I'm walking into is going to be this crazy active area, or I'm going to see Bigfoot right away, or anything like that. I think I just go with a practical mind, so I'm set that way. The problem is when you face that fear and you're not prepared for it. You know what I mean? Like like the situation at Madison, where I'm sitting there and I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, this shit starts happening. Like, I was perfectly
Mhm.
fine. I see, and like going back to what you said, your mindset
Mhm.
affects the investigation and what you experience.
You were
So it was like,
stressed. You
yeah,
were
I was,
anxious.
yeah. I was stressed. Like, I was fine going in, but it was like right after the pandemic and everything started opening. We were there with Chad Cornell and Doug, and they were watching all this crap that was going on in Erie. Cities were burning. We all know what was going on. Everything was just going insane, and just then
Mhm.
all of a sudden that's in your head. So I'm sitting down and just like I become enveloped in this globe of darkness. Like she said, it was like
Beauty and the
Beauty and the
Beast.
Beast. Yeah, like
Yeah.
we were sitting there across from each other, and I couldn't see them, and they couldn't see me. It was like getting that dark around me.
And the rest of the room was bright as can be.
Yeah.
I
So like
mean,
dealing with that, the only thing you could do is keep your friends around you for protection. That definitely helps, because if I was there and had that happening myself with them around, I don't know what would have happened.
I would have slapped the shit out of you.
Knowing when to walk out and separate yourself and ground yourself immediately is very important.
Yeah, you have to be in control of your emotions, like generally in life, but especially when you're doing a paranormal investigation. And you have to understand that if I start to feel angry and I have zero reason to be angry, then it's time to leave. It's time to walk away. It's time to go find a different area of the building. You know what I mean? It's time to reevaluate and protect yourself, you know? Obviously you let things slip a little bit. So you need to pay attention to that stuff all the time.
Yeah, it can even be just not paying attention to what your surroundings, your environment. You could be in a somewhat decent mind, but one little thing sparks a flame.
Yep.
And you gotta be prepared. And you can't always be prepared, because sometimes you're just sitting there and it happens. It could be anywhere.
Yeah, that's what I always try to go into places as calm and collected as you guys see me now. But that's like going into the VIP hunt at ISS Con. It was Chris Williams and I leading a group, and we were having fun, we were joking around, doing whatever else, and we get to the nursing station, or the nurses station there in the middle of the nursing home, and it went down, I think, like it was either the 300 or 400 hallway. And everything was cool. It was dark, but it was cool. Everybody was still having a great time. And then out of nowhere, it sounds like one of those old, like, antique pieces of china, like those, like the big serving dishes.
Right.
It sounded like that smashed.
Oh man!
Like full force, like someone threw it.
Wow.
Right on the floor, in between the 8 of us that were there.
Oh my god, that's crazy!
All the flashlights came on. There was nothing. There was absolutely nothing there.
See, that's the stuff I like.
Never could explain it, but stuff kept happening. We were in that hallway 2 different times for about an hour and a half each time. And things like that just kept happening. Things were getting thrown out of some of the rooms.
Crazy.
Every time, like, there would be a breeze that would come through from the end of the hallway. There was a window that was cracked at the very end of the hallway, so there would be a breeze that would come through. But almost every single time the breeze would come through, we knew that was the signal that something else was going to happen.
Wow.
It got so crazy.
Wow.
Literally every time we felt that breeze, another piece of whatever would come flying out of a room. The one time it came through and something literally sounded like heavy boots came running down the hallway toward the group.
Oh my god.
We had an Estes method happening with one of the guys. Like the dad of the group was off by himself with the blindfold and the earpieces, and he was giving us like legitimate, like, direct responses to what we were happening, and almost every single time it coincided with that breeze coming through the hallway.
That's so crazy. Do you think it was like, what do you think something was getting upset? Because the nurses station is like serious, like that they're doing work.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you guys are just goofing around, having a good time.
Maybe.
You know?
Yeah. And like Goose was saying, almost like it was already dark, but you know when you're someplace doing an investigation and things could just get dark. Yeah. That happened. And it made the experience 10 times more crazy. And Chris and I talked after that for a long while. And it's just like we can't, there was no explaining it.
Yeah.
Right? What is to this day one of the craziest things that has ever happened on an investigation.
Right. Wow.
She's a lot of fun to investigate with.
Yeah, she was. I was so worried about, like, hey guys, it's me helping lead this group with the actual celebrity here.
Right. Yeah.
Thanks, Kelly.
I wanted to bring this up because also because you talked about the Estes method, and it honestly makes a lot of sense. We go into investigations and purposely blindfold ourselves so that our other senses will be stronger.
Yeah.
I know that there's a team that's been to Madison a few times that is 2 guys who are deaf. And I know that they have their own team. But I don't know. I mean, I think that this could work. I think it's dangerous. You'd have to be very careful with the types of buildings you go into because,
or have someone specifically designated, that to help get around.
Right.
I have a watcher.
Yeah, because I mean, I've been to Madison a million times and I still trip on stuff all the time, or you know what I mean?
I still smash my head at FCI every time.
Yeah, I mean these buildings aren't exactly, up to current codes for, anything.
What do you mean? Yes, they are.
I mean, I'm not talking about fire codes. They're up to fire codes.
Yes.
But I'm
fire
saying,
codes, fire codes are
the doorways aren't made for a wheelchair to go through. You know what I mean? Like
neither are the stairs.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of things. I don't think that they build buildings with super short ceilings anymore where people can bump their heads on them. There's just a lot of dangerous stuff in these buildings.
Yeah,
I bumped my head at Bell's nursing home one time, and we got our EVP that said that's one.
Yeah, I was going into the basement because that was super. I mean, even I had to duck, and I'm not exactly a basketball player.
Oh, and that reminds me of it was, oh gosh, when was it? Maybe like 2015 or 16 or something like that. We got a casting call from the folks that did Naked and Afraid.
Oh, geez.
Wanting to do a paranormal series, but it was like Naked in the Paranormal was their working tagline or something like that.
Yeah.
And like, can you imagine, you look at these places that we've been to, guys.
Right?
No, that's
you're not walking away without a tetanus shot.
Right.
Yeah, that's gross.
Right. Or stitches.
Right. I don't want any that's not naked parts on there. Oh, bad idea. They didn't think that one through.
No, it was so horrible. Can you imagine going through like OSR, just stark ass nude?
Like everything's covered in rust there.
Yeah. Part of me was like, all right, how far are you guys going to go with this? Let's see what happens with this.
Right.
So I'm pushing the limits of y'all's insurance.
I'm going to rub it over here and then rub it over there.
Yeah, like how much medical coverage do you have? That'll be my answer.
What'd you say? It fell off.
Right. Oh. I'm already afraid enough to like sit on beds and shit in these places.
Right.
I don't know who's been on that chair.
Nope.
One, I try not to sit on anything either,
I don't know if it's going to fall to the ground when I sit on it or have to pay somebody for something. 2, I don't know where it's been.
Yeah, look at our furniture. Most of it's donated.
Yeah.
It's like stuff that's donated, or we find it on the side of the road, or we buy it at the thrift store. You know what I mean? It's not like it's like good, clean stuff.
Yeah.
They wouldn't have pants.
Right.
That would be rather disgusting.
Yeah.
Make sure you're in the shower. I did go on an investigation once with a guy at which one was it? I actually think it was Moundsville, and he was carrying a soap on a rope.
Oh, geez.
While we were going through like the shower area, and like that was his way of provoking.
I mean, it's a trigger object for sure.
Yeah.
And you got to watch how you throw it there, man.
If you accidentally drop it, I mean, that's
He was throwing it. He was throwing it across the room. He's going Thor style.
That's not the kind of interaction that I want.
No.
I understand using trigger objects to like, boost activity or whatever, but is that the activity that you want to boost? Like, maybe think of something else.
That's like the worst place.
Right?
He almost actually stripped down to his underwear, so
we
stopped him from doing that.
That's good. You're a good friend. We have to give Wolliver a chance to plug some shit
You want to ask the
before we
question,
go. I
Heisenberg?
know it's already like 10:15. Holy shit.
Yeah.
What do you got going on, Wolliver?
Oh, I was waiting for Heisenberg to do it.
Oh, yeah.
but
Sorry.
Because she keeps doing that to me.
Why don't both of you ask at the exact same time?
Okay.
Go ahead, Heisenberg.
What do you have to plug?
Nothing really. I mean,
All right.
Yes, Eddie.
keep watching the RU Media Network every week for all these crazy shows, except for now when it's holidays and everybody does their own thing.
Right.
Right.
Like I said, like, follow, do whatever, subscribe, Facebook, YouTube. I don't remember if there's a TikTok. There might be a TikTok. I don't remember.
There's TikTok.
Resident Undead, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, all those fun things. Our Haunted Minds, Facebook and YouTube. Just appreciate everyone's support, as always, from year to year. This year is no different.
You bet, Northwest. Have a good holiday.
We do have amazing people in our lives, if we're being honest.
Yes,
Very supportive, awesome people.
Yeah. Yeah, when we were mulling around the idea of doing this however many years ago now, we knew that we wanted to start getting the right people in place first.
Right.
So we could start to grow just based on the people we
Sorry we screwed that idea up for you.
Yeah. No, but I'm pretty happy with where we sit currently, and like I said, I'd love to start expanding into more things besides paranormal.
That'd be cool.
Food, sports, anything.
I think that what it should be is me and Denise reacting to scary movies.
I know.
Hey,
I wish that we could get away with like the copyright part of it.
I know.
Because if
you have to like blur it out or something.
Yeah. I know, but if you had the audio,
if you had the audio in the background, you might be able to do a little bit more with it, other than showing the actual picture. Or you could pull up like little snippets of.
But if they recognize the audio, then they'll mute the video, and then it really doesn't make sense because it's me and Heisenberg just going, "Oh, holy shit!"
We got to figure it out, Denise. We got to figure it out.
Yeah, I'm down. All right. It's super late.
All right, guys.
I made it the whole time.
Look at you.
Right. Look at you, man. That's awesome, dude. Good work. Good work.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
So we just want to close out by saying we wish everybody a happy holiday. Whatever you celebrate, have the best of it. Enjoy your time with your family and friends. Be safe, most importantly. And this is it for the year. So we're going to see you in the new year, January. So I guess we'll spook you later next year.
And especially during the holidays, please don't be an asshole. That worker at Walmart does not control those prices. That waitress did not decide how long your order was going to take. Everybody's a human being. Please treat them accordingly and don't be an asshole.
That's so funny. That's just a simple rule, but nobody can do it.
I know. It's not hard, people.
All right, crypto heads. We will see you in the new year. Thank you so much for all the support and love that you've always showed us this year and the year before that. We can't wait. Big things coming. We're gonna keep going and keep.
We're gonna do more.
We're gonna do more.
2023 is gonna be a big year, guys.
Yes, big year, big things. All right, guys. We love you. Have a good weekend. Have a good holiday. We'll see you later.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.